Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a really quick update for my Pan Those Eyeshadows series. This project was created by Alexi and she is always linked in my description box. I randomly select 5 eyeshadows for my entire collection, one of which always needs to be a non-cruelty free shade as I'm trying to work those out. And I do not want to work on a black shade. If I do not hit pan on it as I surpass 30 uses, I can roll it out because I typically hit pan around like the 25 to 30 use mark in an average eyeshadow, and if I still haven't even come close to pan after 30 uses, then it's usually a long way off and I would just rather rotate through more of my palettes. Last update, I rolled in 2 brand new palettes to me, like palettes I had never used. So I added in an additional rule for myself that I can use those shades 10 times and roll them out and then have the freedom to use more of the palette than just the one shade in this project. In the past, when I rolled in a new palette, then I would mostly only work on the shade in the project and not really test out and have fun with the palette as a whole. Or if I did, I always felt like I needed to use that one shade. So I just wanted to give myself a little bit more freedom with that. I have shifted you guys around in my office just a little bit and I'm liking how this is looking a little bit better. I will eventually, once I refinish it, have a bookshelf back here, but right now you can see my office printer and I can't quite rejig my office space around enough to get this out of view without it being an awkward setup again. I haven't liked how my background has looked for a while and I'm just trying to work with the space I have. I need to stop rambling. Let's chat about the 5 eyeshadows I have been working on. Firstly, I'm going to insert the color story I've been working on. It's definitely very interesting, finally not monochromatic and peachy, but I think I got more than I bargained for. So to start off with, why do I have 6 palettes in my lap for starters? This one's for another video that I'm filming after this one. That would help me out a little bit more. This palette has been in since the beginning, but I actually pulled a second shade from this palette, so I'm not working on the same shade since I actually filmed my intro in December. But I am getting sick of just having this in my everyday makeup drawer, and I'm kind of feeling like I maybe want to roll this shade out next time. The shade I'm talking about is Lemon Drop. I've been working on it for 3 months. I used it 4 times this month for a total of 12 uses. It is on my lid and inner corner today. I really like how this eye turned out, very quick and simple, yet still colorful, which I am really enjoying. It is a yellow shimmer with a pink flip to it. It doesn't necessarily go with everything, but I have been using it as a inner corner highlight that's a bit more of a pop of interest. When I look in this palette, the bottom row is more of the inner corner highlighting shades. If you know you do your makeup in that style, whereas this would be like a lid shade. But it has enough of a yellow impact and then that interesting pink flip to it that it is very noticeably yellow in my inner corner. In real life, I feel like not so much on camera. That, I don't know, I just think it's an interesting shade. So I have only used this shade 12 times, but I have used this palette as a whole over 30 times this year and I'm just getting tired of it. I was working on Pearberry, the matte peach in the palette. I used that 27 times in this project earlier this year, and I want to rotate through more of my palettes. So we'll see what I decide for next month, or you can leave your suggestions in the comments below. Next up from my Sephora Pro Warm palette, this is the non-cruelty free palette I'm working on right now. The shade Clay was randomly selected for me, which is this warm brown right here. I did use this 5 times this month, again for a total of 12 uses in this project. This palette is very pigmented, blends beautifully. I really enjoy working on it. It's a great warm brown shade. I have no problem working on this. This will definitely be a 30 uses and roll out because there's no way I'll hit pan on this. I actually have a decent dip because I've been using, sorry to backtrack, because I've been using this mostly as an inner corner. So I don't know how deep these pans are. Based on the packaging, I think it is, you know, pretty deep. So we shall see if I hit the 30 uses or pan or just decide to roll this out. Next up from my Ciate London New England palette, I have in the 14th shade, and I've used it twice since the last update for a total of 3 uses. It is a very deep, shimmery, purpley navy kind of color. I did use this, I'll pop in the picture to the side, as a winged liner one day with a very pink look. I believe I filmed a video with that look as well, and that was really fun to do. It's less dark than I thought, so I think next time I do that, I will go in with a black liquid liner first and then top it with this purple shade just so it has more of an impact. And if I use it as a liner, I hope to hit pan on it relatively easily. Like I said, just from using it as a liner that one time and then using it 2 other times, once I had it on my lid, once just on the outer corner, I hope to hit pan on this pretty fast. Maybe that can be a goal for next time. It's just so deep. The 2 palettes I pulled in last month that were brand new in my collection, well, I've had this palette for a year and a half and still have not used it, and I still haven't used it, guys. I just keep like romanticizing this palette in my mind. I want to keep it pristine, and this screams fall to me, whereas the other one I pulled out screams summer to me. So it was actually a conscious decision to reach for the Ice Cream Dream from GlamLite and not this one. I thought I would have time to at least use it a couple of times before the update, but here we are. I'm filming the update, so still 0 uses. I guess I can swatch it. I'm working on Credit. It is the deep brown shade, and I've now officially swatched it 2 times, and that's it. And lastly, the green that is all over my eyes comes from the GlamLite Ice Cream Dream palette, and it is the shade Pistachio. I used this 3 times this month, and I've really been enjoying it. I will say I wish there were some deeper matte colorful shades in here, though I understand that this is a pastel palette. We have some darker shimmer colorful shades, but I wish we had something a little bit deeper down here, because when I use this I just crave something a little bit deeper on the outer corner that's not a brown. I don't know if that makes sense. Maybe that's just the trouble I'm having with pastel palettes, but like these shimmers are kind of deeper in tone, and then we have like the dark brown and a dark, this is called Black Cherry, but we don't have anything deeper in like this green or blue kind of family. I don't know. It's not perfect. I am really enjoying it. I have reached for more shades than just Pistachio, which was the intention behind the additional rule. I did a look using Raspberry, Black Cherry, as well as Pistachio, and then I did a look using Pistachio, the purple shade, the purple shimmer in here, along with Birthday Cake, and I've just been having fun with the palette. And Pistachio, it's definitely a difficult shade to even get 10 uses out of, but I'm excited to play around with this palette. I have been having fun with it, and for all the eyeshadows I'm working on, having used it 3 times, I actually do feel really good about that. Now I would like, okay, let's talk goals. Clearly I haven't hit pan or my 30 uses or 10 uses on any of my palettes. I have 3 goals. I would love to have my 10 uses done on the Ice Cream Dream palette. We're heading into September, and I'm going to be wanting to work on my warmer shades and also palettes like the Jackie Aina. This screams spring summer to me, which is kind of the problem with these completely roulette projects. It doesn't care about the seasons. So 7 more looks with pistachio. Potentially play with more of this palette. I think I'm going to keep this in my weekly makeup basket rotation. If you didn't see my Shop My Stash, I will link that up in the cards where I talked about my new weekly rotation. I want to come to a decision on the By Lavas sugar crystals. I've just been working on this for the entire year because I've now had 2 shades in here. Let me know what you think. I don't know. I don't know if that's cheating. I didn't really plan to have any vetoes this year, which I know some people do. And I would like to really try and hit pan on this Ciate London shade because I really don't think it will be that difficult if I'm using it as a liner, which is what I intended to do. I do like it on the lid or on the outer corner if I am going for that more deeper, smoky kind of vibe. That's not the vibe I'm really going for, and while this would be a great shade to take with me into the last part of the year in terms of makeup looks, I just think it's one of the easier shades that I could actually hit pan on and up those pan numbers because I'm way behind on my goal for how many pans I want to hit this year. So that's kind of where I'm at, focusing on these 3 palettes. And not that I'm going to be ignoring, well, I make no promises about the Jackie Aina, but I've been reaching for this anytime I want to do a more neutral, warm look, which I have been really loving, and I am panning some other warm shades, so this still will get some use, just not be my main focus. So that's it for this update. Like I said, pretty short. This is my color story. Again, I'll pop in that picture of the close-up because it's the same as last time. Definitely leave your feedback down below. I was feeling really good about this project for a while. I mean, even last month I rolled in 2 things, but I always want to roll something in each update, and I was tempted, I was thinking about it as I was coming down to my office, rolling in a 6th shade, but I just know that's too much for me because at the beginning of the year I hadn't planned on panning eyeshadows in any other projects, and yet I am. So I'm just seeing the year-end kind of videos, finales, wrap-ups, all that coming, and I just feel like I haven't met a lot of the beauty goals that I set, or like panning goals that I set for myself this year, and really want to pick up the pace and try and figure out what best is going to make me successful in reaching those goals. And I think the weekly makeup basket is definitely going to help me with that. So I need to pare down what I'm focusing on, and I'm choosing to focus on the 3 palettes that I shared with you. If you did enjoy today's video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up so that I know, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye!